Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask, Heidi. It's Monday, the 9th day of September. It is International Day to Protect Education from Attack, International Fetal Alcohol Spectrum Disorder Awareness Day, International Sudoku Day, International Teddy Bear Day, National When Pigs Fly Day. It is also Wonderful Weirdos Day, which I celebrate all the time. I absolutely admit that I'm a bit of a weirdo. And National Wiener Schnitzel Day. I'd never had that until, I don't know, a couple years ago. We were somewhere and we tried that. I was like, oh, it's actually pretty good. All of that happening on this Monday. And I'm so excited for my guest today, Heidi. It is a Movie Star Monday, and my guest is Patrick Renna, and people might be going, who's that? If you ever watched The Sandlot, you saw him on there. His character there was called Ham, and he's the one that said, You're killing me, Smalls. Our last name is Small. So we get that quote said to us all the time. You're killing me, Smalls. I'm excited to chat with him. He's in a new baseball movie that's based on a true story. We'll chat all about it coming up.
Charlie has Parkinson's. Recently, Charlie started wearing a bracelet from VitaTech Healing.
I'm an avid golfer, and I was going to give it up this year. I just deteriorated that much. Now I'm back to golfing, enjoying it, having a good time. I just can't stress enough how good it is.
Click on radiosavings.com to hear more of Charlie's story and find out how VitaTech Healing is helping others with ADHD, fibromyalgia, autism, and more. Plus, find radio-only savings by clicking the link at radiosavings.com. That's radiosavings.com.
Now, surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. It would seem that these days we're becoming less and less and less willing to take one for the team and come in to work when we're not feeling well. Human resources platform Dayforce said among American workers, sick leave jumped by 55% from 2019 to 2023. Data from smaller businesses shows 30% of white-collar workers took sick days last year, 42% increase from 2019. Gen Z seems to be leading the charge, not toughing it out thing. Sick leave among workers under 35 rose more than any other age bracket. Experts attribute this post-pandemic rise in calling out to several factors, including their unwillingness and need to take mental health days. Here's the thing. At the end of the day, if you're sick, stay home. If you're not sick, go to work.
Right.
I am very blessed that I've only had a few sick days in my entire life.
Yeah.
And there are times that maybe I probably should have stayed because I'm like, I don't feel great. But I'm like, I don't feel that bad. So maybe I'm just Superman. What's that? I'm not?
Maybe.
Heidi says no. Surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com.
If you want a better credit card, it can be easy and not so hard. BetterCreditCards.com. Earn more points and get more perks. Get what you're looking for in a card that works. BetterCreditCards.com. Give yourself a little credit. BetterCreditCards.com. Give yourself a little credit. BetterCreditCards.com.
That's BetterCreditCards.com.
Did you know? Brought to you by Genesis Gold, IRA.com. Heidi, did you know it's fairly well known that dolphins are very clever, and that's thanks in part to what's inside their noggin. Amazon River dolphins, though, are wonderfully pink. Their little creatures are pink. They're also known as the Botu or Butu. They have a brain capacity that's 40% larger than our brains. Huh. Bottlenose dolphins also have larger brain capacities than humans, and it's a 1,600-gram brain compared to our 1,300-gram brain. So I'm going to have to ask a dolphin to explain all of that to me, because I don't know. Apparently it's a big deal. We don't know everything, but now we know this.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by Radiosavings.com. Zach Braff is addressing the possibility of a Scrubs reboot, and he is hopeful it will happen. Scrubs is a Disney
Let's just
show.
come up with some new things, people.
And Bill Lawrence has a Warner Brothers deal. Once those two companies figure that out, I think people will get what they want, he says. He's working on it. He said it would be a lot of fun to keep working with all the people. And he said they all still hang out, by the way, which I think that's kind of cool. Yellowstone may not be getting put out to pasture after all. Taylor Sheridan's Paramount Network hit, which was canceled following the 5th A season finale in 2023, will reportedly be continuing on. It looks like there's some people who maybe are not going to be involved, but there's other people who may now be involved.
That thing is too much of a cash cow for them to let it
no
go. They're
official
not going to let it go.
comment from Paramount thus far. And Richie Valens is headed back to the big screen. Muchos Mas Media and Sony Pictures teamed up to develop a remake of the Golden Globe-nominated 1987 film La Bamba.
Okay.
So that would be kind of cool.
Play it now.
I don't see that in the story. The original from 1987 was Lou Diamond Phillips, and he did an amazing job.
Maybe you should audition.
No, yeah, probably not me. Not even close. Maybe I could play the Big Bopper. No, probably not that either. Big Screen, Little Screen, brought to you by RadioSavings.com.
Charlie has Parkinson's. He started wearing a bracelet from Vitatech Healing, and he's noticed a difference, even while sleeping.
Once I got in bed, I couldn't roll over. I couldn't move. I was just whatever position I was in, just a chore to get out of bed. And now everything is so much better.
Click on RadioSavings.com to hear more of Charlie's story and find out how Vitatech Healing is helping others with ADHD, fibromyalgia, autism, and more. Plus, find radio-only savings by clicking the link at RadioSavings.com. That's RadioSavings.com.
Now your scoop of the day comes your way, courtesy of BetterCreditCards.com. Mike Tyson says that he smokes, and I quote, about $40,000 worth of marijuana every month, end quote.
What?
Yeah, Mike Tyson.
Holy cow,
Yeah.
dude.
So it's not just his voice that's high. He is very high from the sound.
Wow.
So I don't know how much that is because I've never bought marijuana, but it sounds like a lot.
Sounds like a lot.
$40,000 a month? Where does he? Oh, yeah, that's right. He's Mike Tyson, so he's got the money for it. And good news for you if you wrecked your eyebrows in the 1990s with tweezers and bad lighting. The Barely There brow is coming back. While big-browed tastemakers have dominated grooming standards for over a decade, if trend forecasts and red carpets are anything to go by, less is more once again. It's evident everywhere, from TikTok to Paris Fashion Week, where makeup artists Pat McGrath paints the finest of curved lines on the models' foreheads, concealing their natural eyebrows below. And at the Met Gala, Barely There brows were on full display, with several different artists opting for either bleached out or wafer-thin eyebrows. So what do you think, Heidi? Is that something that you would like to do?
No.
Heidi, back in April, got permanent eyebrows.
I did.
And I thought it was awesome. The only reason I know it was in April is because it happened to be on April 1st. Because when she was telling our son, I said, your mom is getting, I don't know what I called him, tattoo eyebrows. He's like, no, yeah, April Fool's,
said,
whatever.
Yeah, whatever, Dad.
And I was like, oh, wow, that is today. So then I was like, what if she is tricking me and she comes home? I thought you were going to come home with like some really big Sharpie fake eyebrows. That would have been really good, though.
I kept them pretty simple.
Yeah, they look fantastic.
But they're
Heidi.
not wafer thin.
No, they're they look like your regular eyebrows.
Yeah, thank you.
So
That was the idea.
Okay, that's what you were going for?
That was what I was going
All right, scoop of the day comes your way, courtesy of BetterCreditCards.com.
Can your IRA or 401k stand up to the next financial crisis by allocating a percentage of your retirement into physical gold and silver with a tax-free rollover? You can diversify and safeguard your holdings from turbulent markets and economic downturns. Safeguard your assets with a tax-free rollover with a Genesis Gold IRA, the only IRA that can hold physical precious metals. Protect your retirement today with a simple phone call and receive your free gold and silver guide. Call 1-800-200-GOLD or visit GenesisGoldIRA.com.
Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Movie Star Monday. I am so excited to visit with Patrick Renna, and a lot of people know this guy from a movie that came out a long time ago. It was called The Sandlot, and he plays a character on there called Ham. And I see his photo on T-shirts to this very day, and it says, "You're killing me, Smalls." When you go out in the public, do people typically recognize you, Patrick?
Yeah, they definitely, I can't grow a beard, so I haven't changed a lot.
Well, and I saw a thing online where there was a photo of you with a person that had a picture of you on their shirt that said, "You killing me, Smalls," and they looked confused, and I don't know that they realized that was you. I was like, that is the funniest thing. I see those everywhere. Do you get a commission on all of those shirts, or do you get nothing for that?
Oh, I don't know. I know that for the contract that we signed a long time ago, I haven't looked at it in a while. We're supposed to get something, so I think they honor that, but, who knows? Who knows how all that works?
Well, and with my last name being Small, from the time that movie came out, one of the lines I hear from everybody all the time is, "You're killing me, Smalls." And I'm like, it's Small. It's not Smalls. But I love it.
Yeah.
So let's talk about You Gotta Believe. This is in theaters right now. It just came out. And is this based on a true story? Is that what I'm reading here? It's something that really happened?
Yeah, it's based on the 2002 West Side All-Stars out of Fort Worth, Texas. And they defied all odds and made it out of regionals and state and city and all the levels they have to get through to get to the Little League World Series. And then they made it pretty far there too, all the way to the semifinal game on the U.S. bracket. So yeah, pretty cool.
And in this film, of course, you're in the film. We're talking with you about it, but there's some other amazing people in this as well. Greg Kinnear and Luke Wilson, and just an all-star cast, and a bunch of young people that, like when you were in the Sandlot, it was you and a bunch of other young people that we didn't know yet. But think of all these young people, and 20 years from now, maybe their photo will be on a shirt somewhere, right?
There you go. You never know. That's right. You never know.
So what role do you play in the film, You Gotta Believe?
I played Cliff. So, again, the team really has no business getting as far as they did. And the coach needed a bit of convincing to continue coaching them and bring his team of all-stars up against, the neighboring city who had, they were the favorites by a long shot. So I run the whole sports program at the school, and I convinced him to do it. It's kind of a cool pivotal role there.
Did you meet the person who you got to play, the real-life person of the character you played?
I did for the first time last night, yeah, because the premieres, you were out here in Fort Worth, and the premiere was last night. We had an after party, and I got to meet the real guy.
What was that like, meeting the real Cliff, going, hey, I got to play this guy in a movie?
Yeah, we look nothing alike, but hey, that's movie magic for you.
Well, even if you look nothing alike, I guarantee he's going to be happy to have you portraying him on the big screen because, again, I think that's just an honor in itself to have you as the guy that's, making him memorable forever.
Yeah, he was a great guy, and it was really cool. He had about a foot on me, though. He was a lot taller.
Well, maybe he was shorter back then and he just grew up. That could be. You never know.
That's right. And that's what apple boxes are for in movie making. So, make it look taller.
So now let's talk again. The theaters, or the film we're talking about now is in theaters right now. You Gotta Believe. It's based on a true story, and it's a very inspiring movie, isn't it? This is the kind of movie you go to and you leave just going, wow, that's amazing that really happened.
Yeah, you're saying the true story aspect of it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's you really want to do it justice, because that it's a true story, and obviously there's the baseball aspect of it, but then there's also the motivating factor behind them banding together, and they were playing for Bobby Ratliff, and he was dying of terminal cancer, and so they had his name embroidered on the side of the hat, and that was a big part of the story, and part of the Ratliff family, and so you want to make sure you do it all justice and tell the story right, and I think they did a great job doing that. It's really, really beautiful. Well, beautifully done. Get your Kleenex out. It'll get you several times.
Absolutely. Patrick, thank you for your time today. We appreciate it a bunch.
Thanks for having me.
Again, our guest today has been Patrick Renna. He played Ham in The Sandlot. He also is in a new film that's in theaters right now. It's called You Gotta Believe, and it's based on a true story. You'll also see Luke Wilson and Greg Kinnear and many others. I've got a link to the trailer in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
Charlie has Parkinson's. Recently, Charlie started wearing a bracelet from VitaTech Healing.
I'm an avid golfer, and I was going to give it up this year. I just deteriorated that much. Now I'm back to golfing, enjoying it, having a good time. I just can't stress enough how good it is.
Click on radiosavings.com to hear more of Charlie's story and find out how VitaTech Healing is helping others with ADHD, fibromyalgia, autism, and more. Plus, find radio-only savings by clicking the link at radiosavings.com. That's radiosavings.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
There is a prison in Uruguay called Freedom. It's Freedom Prison. Seemed kind of odd.
That's hilarious.
Freedom. All right. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
1 glass of milk can make a person blow 0.02 on a breathalyzer test.
Really?
Yeah. So if you drink a glass of milk, it can actually set off a breathalyzer test. So. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
It is impossible to imagine a new color. Every color that's ever been imagined.
I think we've read that one before.
Yeah, I think Heidi could dream one up. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
90% of Earth's organisms are insects. 90%.
Okay.
Insects. And our final fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The average person speaks 450 words in a typical 3-minute phone call.
Okay.
I think I speak more than that.
I think you do as well.
I talk fast, I talk loud, and I talk a lot. I don't mean to. It's just me. Love me or hate me? What's that? Hate me? Okay, sorry.
No, nobody hates you.
Oh, that guy does. And so does that lady. Several fun facts. Now you know. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
If you want a better credit card, it can be easy and not so hard. BetterCreditCards.com. Earn more points and get more perks. Get what you're looking for in a card that works. BetterCreditCards.com. Give yourself a little credit. BetterCreditCards.com. Give yourself a little credit. BetterCreditCards.com.
That's bettercreditcards.com.
Time now for the Mint Mobile question of the day. It comes your way courtesy of mintervention.com. Question, Heidi. Most of us have one of these. About 4% have two of these. What are they? My friend Preston has like 6 of these.
I have no idea.
Middle names.
Oh.
Yeah, most of us have one middle name. 4% have 2 middle names. Preston, he said one time what all of his names were. I thought he was kidding, and he's like, no, seriously, those are all my names.
My Uncle Sam as well.
Yeah, how many? He had like 4 names too, didn't
It was a lot.
Yeah, so and you can have, I think, as many as you want. I don't know. Mint Mobile question of the day comes your way, courtesy of mintervention.com.
Charlie has Parkinson's. He started wearing a bracelet from Vitatech Healing, and he's noticed a difference even while sleeping.
Once I got in bed, I couldn't roll over. I couldn't move. I was just whatever position I was in, just a chore to get out of bed. And now everything is so much better.
Click on radiosavings.com to hear more of Charlie's story and find out how Vitatech Healing is helping others with ADHD, fibromyalgia, autism, and more. Plus, find radio-only savings by clicking the link at radiosavings.com. That's radiosavings.com.
Time now for some weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. A man, well known for making bubbles for children, had his bubble burst by park rangers. Sandy Snakeberg, the bubble pirate, says he's been blowing bubbles in public parks for years. The homeless disabled veteran lives out of his van where he creates bubble solution. But it would seem it's a no-no to leave behind liquid bubble juice at La Jala Cove in San Diego. That's where park rangers approached him, telling him there had been some complaints and that the bubble solution left behind is known as littering. Yeah.
Okay.
City spokesperson said
Wow.
Snakeberg uses up to 6 gallons of solution every time he blows bubbles, and he was issued the lowest level citation available. Snakeberg has no plans to stop blowing bubbles. After all, he says, I am a bubbleologist. I didn't know that was a thing, but I think that's cool. Who did you think of when I was telling you that story?
We've got a friend named Mark.
Mark.
Yes.
Instantly.
He loves bubbles.
We got together with him. He had so much fun doing the bubbles.
He loves bubbles. He's
like,
always playing with bubbles.
He's like, I'm getting the bubbles ready for the kids. I'm like, there's no kids here. You're the kid. It's awesome. It's very cool. Weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. Time now for the list brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. Ex-user LB started a thread asking people to reply with their best way to, quote, start a fight in 5 words or less without mentioning politics. So here are 5 words or less to start fights. I'm not believing any of these. I'm just reading what they said. Star Wars is boring, Bethany said. That's a way to start a fight. You're acting like your mom. Reclining is my right. Brad Pitt was never hot. Soap on cast iron pan. Yeah, don't do that. Cilantro is the best herb. A hot dog is a taco. What? Chocolate is gross. That's just 3 words. Real estate agents are underpaid. Ranch beats blue cheese, period. So these, again, are all 5 words or less ways to start a fight. Wine is better with ice.
Oh, no.
I don't even want to say this one because someone's going to get mad at me, but Taylor Swift is overrated. Mike said that, not me. And moist, just 1 word. That's all they had to put. So.
And I have one more. The Beatles are overrated.
Oh, yeah, that's what Heidi...
That's one that...
It's a way for her to get people all fired up. The list brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com.
Can your IRA or 401k stand up to the next financial crisis by allocating a percentage of your retirement into physical gold and silver with a tax-free rollover? You can diversify and safeguard your holdings from turbulent markets and economic downturns. Safeguard your assets with a tax-free rollover with a Genesis Gold IRA, the only IRA that can hold physical precious metals. Protect your retirement today with a simple phone call and receive your free gold and silver guide. Call 1-800-200-GOLD or visit genesisgoldira.com. savings.com.
Time now for the quote of the day. It comes your way courtesy of radiosavings.com. Your quote today is from Ken Hubbard, who says, "Success is not something you can hide. Did you ever know a successful man who didn't tell you about it?" So here's the thing. I actually disagree with that. I know some successful people who the world would never know they're successful. But then I had a chance to work with some people. I'm like, wow, they're doing really, really well. You'd never know it because they don't live that lifestyle.
Right.
So I think I think that quote is wrong. But, that's my opinion. Ken, that's your opinion. Quote of the day comes your way courtesy of radiosavings.com.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news. I think this is good news. Comes your way courtesy of GenesisGoldIRA.com from Stillwater, Oklahoma. What an amazing story. A firefighter was going on his evening walk. He sees a woman struggling to mow her lawn. Guess what he does? He stops and helps her. Yeah. Stillwater Fire Department, Oklahoma. There's a gentleman there who captured the hearts of his community after stepping up to help a woman who was struggling to mow her lawn. Firefighter is Brandon. He was on a walk and he noticed a woman. She was having some difficulty. Without a second thought, he walked over and asked for permission. Then he took over and he finished mowing her entire lawn. The Stillwater Fire Department proudly shared the story on their Facebook page along with a photo of Brandon in action. Without hesitation, Brandon finished mowing the rest of the lawn. The department wrote, "We are proud to have men and women at SFD who uphold the standards of going above and beyond to support our community." The post quickly garnered attention with an outpouring of support and appreciation from the community. "It's good to know that there are still good people out there," one person commented. Another said, "Need more of this, seeing our country unite and not divided. Lots of good people out there. We appreciate you, Brandon." Even Brandon's own mother couldn't resist, chiming in, expressing her pride with a touch of humor. Says, "What a great young man. So thoughtful and kind. His parents raised him right. Oh, by the way, that's my son."
That's awesome.
Simple yet powerful gesture by Brandon serves as a reminder that good does exist in the world. In a time when uplifting stories are needed more than ever, Brandon's selfless act has not only helped one person, but it's also inspired the entire community. And I would say even more than that. It hit the internet. It's inspired people all over the place.
Super cool.
Like us, like me, like you. Are you inspired, Heidi?
Always.
I'm
John.
inspired. I think it's amazing. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Monday.